Okay, this is going to be a reading for Leo. It's your weekly love reading for the second week of September. I'm going to do a 9-card spread. I'll get 3 cards for your feelings, 3 cards for your person's feelings, and 3 cards for the outcome. I'll clarify why they feel the way that they feel, get messages from them, and I'll get you some advice as well. Okay, Spirit Guides, Universe and Angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Leo's highest good. How are they feeling with regards to this connection, the one they're thinking of in the second week of September? 3 cards, please. The Page of Cups. Okay, so you are wanting to offer your feelings to someone. Could be romantic feelings. Because it's not wands, because it's cups, I would say that you do have a romantic interest in them, like you like who they are as well as what they look like. It's that initial, like, you know, I'd like to get to know you more phase. The Page of Cups can also be an apology, but we need the context around it, okay? Did something flip? No. The 3 of Cups. Okay, so that's coming together, celebrating. So you would like to invite someone to some kind of celebration or party or get together, right? Maybe a dinner date with other couples there or something, I don't know. Let's get another one. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Pentacles. This is money, career, growth of a relationship to the next level, through hard work, through finances, through investing, you know, into a future. You may have met them at work. It may be someone that you like at work or wherever you study. I do believe that this is like, you know, you fancy someone and you want to go on a date with them, and, you know, yeah, it could be to do with your job somehow. Okay, Spirit, can you get me 3 cards for Leo's person, the one they're thinking of? How are they feeling with regards to this connection in the second week of September? They've got the 5 of Cups. Is this an apology then? Are they grieving because you fell out with them, you argued with them? Because you're extending a cup, right? 3 in October, so the 5 of Cups is, you know, grief, it's loss. You guys not speaking? Did you split up? I feel like it's more like an argument in the early stages, because or that person's grieving something totally separate to this. They're in a state of grief over someone they've lost, or... Yeah, 8 of Wands in action, that's no surprise. It's 8 of Wands reversed, which is no forward movement, no progress, no communication, no action. That's because they're in a stage of grief and loss. But I don't know if this is to do with you or that's something that's just going on with them right now. Okay, we've got the King of Swords, so it could be an air sign that you're dealing with, or they could just be somebody that is honest, truthful. This could be, to be honest, this could be a father figure, because the King of Swords is someone who is established, right? So they could be older than you, there could be an age difference, or they could be your actual, you know, relative that you want to apologise to, or that you would like to invite to some kind of celebrations. When I bet you know, like if we look outside of romance and we're just looking at people that you have love for, that you're related to, friends and family, because I don't understand why you've got the Page and they've got the King of Swords. We've got Death, which is the end of a cycle. Swords is facts, honesty, truth. It's a person of integrity, right? A person of honour. They speak the truth, they're intelligent. The Death card is the end of a cycle, or they could be someone with Scorpio placements, with the Hierophant as the Taurus Major Arcana. It's the card of Taurus, but it's also a card of tradition, truth, religion, being conservative. So it's like a marriage card. It's like, you know, the fact that in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the law, you marry to someone. It's that sense of like following rules, being conservative, not being alternative. The King of Swords, end of a cycle, and then like being conservative. I don't feel like you two are together. I don't see an existing relationship. I see you as either a child reaching out to their parent, or someone who looks up to and has admiration for in work, a person who is a boss, or just a colleague that is much older than you, more established in the workplace than you. I don't think it's a work kind of finance reading. I get cups everywhere, which is, you know, I think there's been loss for this person that you're thinking of, like a loss in the family, or they've recently got divorced from somebody and you are reaching out to sort of invite them out, maybe to a group situation, to sort of, you know that they're struggling right now or something. You don't have, interestingly for you, Leo, you don't have, you know, like you're not showing as the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands. You're not showing as the Knight of Wands, like flirty, wanting to get with someone. It's Cups, which is like a sweet kind of feelings and emotions, as opposed to excitement and, you know, wanting to kind of be sexual. This is more of a like emotions, just extending happiness, or the opportunity for someone who's really sad and is experiencing loss, has lost all kind of excitement in their life. You're like extending an invitation to like some kind of group event, and then you're kind of like about your work, because we've got this hammer and chisel, 8 of Pentacles, growth and expansion. But I don't see that this is like, I know it's a weekly love reading, but maybe it's like just someone that you know, that you feel bad for them. So you're like trying to just invite them out to an event, like, because they're really struggling. Because the fact they've got the Death, which is the end of a cycle, they are a king There could be someone who's married, they've got the Hierophant, so it could be like the end of a marriage, because people grieve that. They do grieve that because it means a change of residence, a change of, you know, family dynamics, like the living situation is now you're by yourself, where you were part of a family. Like, you know, even if you have like joint custody of children, they can only like really live with one of you the majority of the time, just for logistics more than anything. Like, so it is like a death for it's really sad, you know, when people go through that readjustment phase. Like, it's really, really tough, and people get dark. They get into a really, really dark, like, headspace. So, yeah, I don't really get romance here. I get someone just being concerned with someone else and trying to invite them out, like, to an event so they're not alone and, like, depressed and, like, you know, struggling and suffering. Let's get 3 cards for the outcome. You don't have to be a child to be fair. You could just be someone who kind of doesn't know this person that well, feels a bit bad for them, and you're a bit younger or a bit, you know, like, not as advanced career-wise or something. Oh, we've got the 10 of Cups reversed, which is 9 of Cups is self-satisfaction, like, you know, you're happy, like, totally satisfied, in a solo energy. Like, you know, a single person who has the 9 of Cups is, like, very happy being single, like, they're just content. The 10 of Cups upright is family, like, that family scenario, like, husband, wife, kids. It's that wider picture that, like, as I was talking about, like, the living together with your spouse, whether you're 2 men, 2 women, a man and a woman, you know, whether you, like, adopt children or they're yours, or it doesn't matter, it's whoever's living in that household and creates that family environment that is in the reverse. So there's definitely God forbid to be widowed or something, that's awful, but there's definitely grief for a loss of something for this person, the person that you're, you know, thinking of. God forbid there's a loss of a child or something, that's terrible. We've got the Judgment and the King of Wands reversed, right? So this king, you know, I think they're likely to lash out, because Wands is passion, excitement, drive, energy, ambition, but when that's reversed, it could be anger. Is someone who's wielding those qualities in an overbearing, hurtful way, or they feel a loss of excitement, a loss of enthusiasm, a loss of drive, you know, they're in sorrow. So I'd be very careful approaching or pushing this person. Like, it's okay to reach out, and it's kind of nice just to be asked, even if you want to say no. But to know people are thinking of you is enough. Like, you know, if people are feeling fragile, or they need to be with their walls up, you know, and literally at home alone, like, you kind of need to let them do that, because they're recognising their own kind of emotional fragile state. So it's not a good idea to go out, you know, when you're feeling like that. It's probably best to, like, just go to another person's house, or, you know, let them visit you, but say, look, I'm feeling like, you know, I just want to be alone now, but thank you for coming and visiting. Like, Yeah, it feels like heavy, this. Okay, we've got the Two of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Chariot reversed. So the Two of Cups is two people that care about each other. Let's say care about, because we don't know what the situation is. Well, I'm speaking to you as a collective, Leo, so, you know, maybe this, for some people, is different, and it's a family scenario. For some people, it's a work colleague. For some people, it's a friend. For some people, it's someone that they might like in the future to date, but you will all have different stories, but you each do care about one another, you know, whether that's platonic or family or boss or colleague or whatever, you someone you barely know. The Seven of Cups is someone who's kind of daydreaming, but there's no way that they're going to go out to battle or in any position to, you know, travel to go and like be anywhere and go get what they want, or be successful, or win, or, you know, defeat someone else. Like they're totally fragile right now. So it's not that they don't care or appreciate the sentiment, but it's way too early. Okay. I get that this person is like middle-aged, to be honest. I don't get, you know, if I thought it was just someone who was gutted, someone didn't want to go out with them, you know, you'd have like the Knight of Wands reversed, or the Page of Cups reversed, or the Knight of Cups reversed. It would be a knight or a page back, you know, like for this person. So the fact that they're a king suggests they were in an established relationship, with or without kids, with or without marriage, that they're older and they're in grief. Okay, so whether that's for a child, a relationship, a marriage, a separation, they lost their job, but I don't really get a Pentacles thing for them. I get Cups, and then we had the Ten of Cups, family, happy family life reverse. So I think they've had to move out from the family home. Sometimes people haven't done like anything wrong, it's just not working out, like, you know, living together. Like, you can co-parent living in separate housing and it works better because you each have jurisdiction of your own, you know, property. You take care of yourself, you take care of your kids because you love your kids, but you don't, you know, want to be in a relationship with each other anymore. That contract has expired. I don't get heartbreak for this person in terms of, like, if it was the Three of Swords with a, you know, going through the heart or something like that, I'd say cheating, but we'll clarify anyway. Okay, why the Five of Cups, please, for Leo's person? Why have they got grief, sadness, loss, regret, sexuality? Someone is still figuring themselves out. Okay, so perhaps there just wasn't, you know, perhaps the nature of their relationship with their spouse or long-term partner had changed. They could be exploring their sexuality as a straight person, you know, or a bi person, or someone who's homosexual. They could be, you know, someone that is asexual, and so it's not natural to them to kind of have a libido, and, you know, the other person is just feeling like, you know, they're companions. It could just be like they used to have a really good sex life with this person and great chemistry, and now you know, now, and it's not been like that for years, but, you know, that's very personal, so let's move on. It doesn't, what I mean is, it doesn't mean that they're always questioning their sexual preference, you know, like it can just be like the fact that there's a lack of sex life there. Intuition, the red flags you ignore now will come back to bite later, so the fact that this person is not wanting things to move forward, they're using their intuition, that wouldn't be right to force anything with the person who things have ended with. Sorry, this card's been upright for the last couple of readings, I just really want to turn it over. There we go. Why have we got the King of Swords with the Death and the Hierophant? Narcissist, someone is too full of themselves. I think the marriage ended because of a narcissist, okay? Of course, you know, another thought is that the person was all about sex, or they were disrespectful towards, you know, the person, the one you're thinking of may have been disrespected during sex, or, you know, it seemed like it was based on sex rather than the person actually caring, because now we've got narcissists. So narcissists are very good at using their looks, you know, they will use sex to persuade people to keep giving them another chance. They tend to want money, but it can also be control. It can also be they just want somewhere to live, like you're just a meal ticket to them, you know. They don't always use sex, like they can make themselves look older so that you feel sorry for them, so that other people feel sorry for them. They can make themselves look up to 20 years older than the age they actually are. Are really, really crafty, manipulative people. So they can use age, sex, they can use, like, they often use, you know, like the thing of like, well, I'm an animal lover, so that makes me a lovely person. No, it doesn't. They're in control with animals. Like, animals are, you know, they're very, very loving, and if someone feeds them and gives them a place to live, you know, like, narcissists are so weird, they can care about animals a lot, and then they can kill them the next day. It's just really weird, but they use animals, people, things, places, everything's an inanimate object to them. You are somebody, you're somebody that has tears come out of your face, but they don't feel sadness or regret or pain for what they've done to you. They will mimic, you know, and cry, mimic emotions that they're not really experiencing, you know, because they know you are experiencing those emotions. So be really, really careful anywhere that narcissist comes out as a card. They may have been married to a narcissist, or they could be a narcissist. Who didn't get what they wanted, and that's why they're in grief and sadness and sorry for themselves, because they didn't, you know, manage to keep manipulating this person. But I don't really get that. It's always a possibility, but I think that your person might have been married to a narcissist. I don't know why, I just don't get that they're a bad person, because I feel like they would have cards like the Devil card, or... That's not to say that the Devil card means someone's a narcissist, but, you know, it's combinations of cards and, you know, trickery, or... I don't know, let's get another one then to go with narcissist. No, it's not the right time. maybe they wanted to marry someone who said no, or someone wanted to marry them and they said no. But I feel that they were already married because it has Scorpio, which is ending. I don't know. Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups reversed. The narcissists often have multiple marriages. They don't always, but they tend to move from one person to the next because they, you know, the person they were with can't stand them, doesn't want them anywhere near them. It goes toxic really, really fast, and violent, you know, aggressive, dysfunctional, you know, almost from the start. They'll be really charming and love bomby to start with, and then it'll go toxic and, you know, total flip, like opposite situation. And so they have to, you know, they get forced out of their home by that person's family who surround them, and, you know, it becomes like so difficult for the narcissist to remain that they move on to the next one. They're often looking out for the next victim while they're still with you. So that's another despicable thing about narcissists, is they've always got multiple people, because they're making options because they know they're going to run out of time, you know, and something will become untenable and they'll leave and they'll hop onto the next victim. But there's often overlaps, and it's very, very difficult to get rid of them because they'll be violent, and you need to be extremely careful with somebody like that, because, I mean, if you've watched documentaries, they will murder. They'll murder your pets, they'll murder you, harass your family, you know, they'll make your life a living hell. So they're very, very difficult to get rid of, and they know the law really well. A lot of narcissists know the law, so if you're married to one, that's extremely difficult. You have to hope they move on to another victim. Ugh. What a horrible energy. Distance. You or your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. That's what they've got with the Ten of Cups. So I'm getting more than an actual death. I'm getting more of someone who's grieving because they were married to a narcissist. Okay. So perhaps they're getting divorced or something. We haven't had the divorce card come out. Okay. We've got Judgment and the King of Wands reversed. Love spell, you've been bewitched. I mean, King of Wands reversed and a call to action is like someone falling out of love with someone, isn't it? It's this king who's going through different emotions, like. Then we've got the Chariot reversed with the Two of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups doesn't have to be daydream, it can be illusions, like someone who's delusional. You know, yeah, someone else. They might have found the narcissist was seeing someone else, sleeping with someone else, married to someone else. These are very common things that you find out with narcissists. They're professional liars. They are psychopaths, so they're pathological liars. They constantly lie, and to great effect. This person will need time, and they'll probably need to be around someone else who has also experienced narcissistic abuse. You know, if you have someone that you feel genuinely can relate to what you're talking about, it helps a lot. And they can find that help online, or most people have, you know, to be honest, have dealings with a narcissist. So by asking around, you know, they will find the person who they want to confide in. The most doesn't have to be that they tell everybody a good amount of stuff. They can mostly, like, you know, hint that the relationship's over, the marriage is over, they've had to move out. But they will most likely pick one person to confide in the most because they just feel like they understand better. You are right. I want to stay. I want to start a family with you. Intuition. Yeah, perhaps they got out before children were brought into the equation. Because often what narcissists do is they try to get moved in with you. In order to achieve that, they'll, you know, offer marriage really, really, really quickly, like within weeks or months. They will, you know, try to have a baby with you. It's anything to trap you into a long-term situation, because they're parasitic. They need to live off someone who's functional. And I mean live off, because I don't mean, you know, like they'll be benign and, you know, you pay kind of their way, but it's happily ever after. I mean, like, they're parasitic. Like, they will be sleeping with other people. They will be abusive to you, using up all of your money, telling you you're rubbish, that nobody else will want you, or telling you that you're perfect whilst sleeping with prostitutes, or, you know, showing videos of you to other people. Like, they will be the most disrespectful on so many levels. So never ever think that once you find out they're a narcissist that it's just you they're doing it to, or, you know, that you're special or there was love there, because you were a resource to them, and you always will be as long as they can keep you in their life. They'll resort to something called hoovering, which I had to look up, but I now know that that is when they get family or friends to reach out to you. And family and friends are victims of narcissists, okay? They can't get away from them because it's their relative, it's somebody that lives in their village, it's somebody that when they come out of jail, you know, like, that's who they're going to head for. So they can't get away from them, but you can. You know, you can ignore reach outs from anybody connected to that narcissist and get away. That's the good news, okay? Let's get one for narcissist and no. You already know. So if you suspect that someone is a narcissist, it's time to start making a plan to get rid of them. And you need to tell lots and lots of people so that you can gang up on this person. You need to tell the police. You know, narcissists are really clever. Like, they will, you know, tell that many lies that people only have like part of a picture of what's actually going on. They're constantly like weaving that web, you know, and they will go and do things like they'll get an injunction, not an injunction, a restraining order on you before you can get one on them, because whoever gets one first, that's like the one that dominates. That's the one that seems to be more legitimate, because why would someone go and get a restraining order who is the perpetrator? But this is how clever they are, right? So that's from watching US documentaries, but it gives you an idea of how calculating and premeditated this behaviour is. Do not feel sorry for them. They often cry a lot, narcissists as well, because that's to manipulate you. Okay, so you get the sob stories and the tears and the manipulation. And it just gets to the point where you're almost laughing like in the face, because you're just like, stop doing that. You know, distance. I have so much desire for you. So that's with the Ten of Cups reversed. So this person is missing, you know, a family life. Love spell, a lie. I mean, think of that as a negative thing, like someone's, you know, done black magic on someone. Love spell doesn't have to be, you know, this beautiful, like, oh, I'm bewitched, I'm enchanted by you. It's like when you do black magic on someone to make them fall in love with you. I don't necessarily believe that that's like something you can do, but, you know, you can definitely wear rose-tinted glasses and really want a relationship and just make excuses for someone's behaviour, or you can easily get fed lies. So you walked into something that you had no idea this person was, you know, not who they say they are. So count love spell as, you know, rose-tinted glasses, which we commonly, you know, admit to. King of Wands reverse, judgment. Yeah, they're realising, you know, definitely time to ground yourself, yes. I lie awake thinking about our future. That's what the person said to them, you know, things like that. There's always big promises of commitment, very like grandiose gestures, you know, over the top. Kind of like they write poetry, they'll do this, they'll do things that you thought, you know, only a person experiencing genuine emotion could do, but it's just all part of their manipulation. Someone else, 2 of Cups, 7 of Cups. I think narcissists, you know, they con themselves as well. They're con artists, but they con themselves as well. They're always the victim, right? Love is the answer. Someone else. Yeah, finding actual real love is the answer. Not having raised into glasses with someone that's been love bombing you, breadcrumbing you, gaslighting you, you know, any and all of the above. Gaslighting is when you kind of like walk in on somebody texting another girl or another guy, and you're in a relationship together, and you say, "What are you doing? Who's that?" And they're like, "No one, it's a friend." And you're like, "Well, why are we looking at like sending pictures to each other off yourselves, or why were you, you know, I'm being obvious because clearly they are flirting with someone else and exchanging images of someone else. They're, you know, or it could be just like, yeah, flirty messages. You're like, you know, that's out of order, like, we're in a relationship, what are you doing? Like, make a big argument, and they're like, you're crazy, like, and they might delete the messages, and they'll be like, look at my phone, there's nothing there. But you know you saw it, so that's gaslighting, because they'll tell you the opposite is true. Like, they are lying, and they are doing that bad thing, but they'll literally, till they're blue in the face, they'll deny it, and be like, you're crazy. Yeah, it's gaslighting is like, it's making someone second guess their own judgment. It's making someone not trust their own judgment. Does that make sense? Just because they're lying, like they're flat out lying, and they'll like try to convince you, like, it's like someone could lie about their age and say they're 5 years younger than what they actually are, and you'll see their driver's license or some like official documentation and be like, I know your real age, I know you've lied about your age, and they'll be like, no, what are you talking about? And like go and destroy whatever it was, or hide it and be like, you're seeing things, you know, like they will literally just flat out deny it and make you go like crazy. The thing is, you know, if you only experience that a little bit, but most of the time you're living around normal people, you might still trust your judgment. But if you live with someone who's constantly doing that, you know, they'll do things like blow hot and cold. They'll like be really, really nice to you sometimes, and then really, really awful. It's all forms of manipulation. It's all forms of narcissistic abuse. So it's very confusing when this happens over time, and you're around this person all the time. Somehow they manage it. Like somehow they manage to, you know, make people lose their mind. So if you sense that that's what's going on, trust your judgment and leave. Just get physical distance. You know, get your head together being around normal people, and you'll get clarity really quick. But it often takes physical distance. Let's get a couple of advice cards. I don't think this has happened to you. I think you're reaching out to someone who has been the victim of narcissistic abuse, and you're inviting them out to a group situation. You know, they could be older than you, they could be a colleague, a family member, they could be someone that you know, do find attractive, but I don't think you're trying to get with them, I think you're just trying to be there for them, but I don't think they're ready, okay? Prudence, don't be lured by the siren song. Interesting. So they're warning you not to get too involved with this. So whether it is them that's the narcissist, or whether they've been dealing with a narcissist, it's not your stuff to take on. That's a warning, okay? That's a warning. be careful with this person, because, you know, sometimes people, this is really sad, but sometimes people stay with someone who they recognise as a narcissist because they're lonely, or they just want to believe that this person can change, or they're just like, I don't care, it's worth it, like, I don't know. But as I said, a narcissist is never, you know, with someone because they genuinely care. They make it look like they care. What they're doing is probably, excuse my French, but shagging other people behind your back. And a narcissist will break the law. They will break down your psyche. They will, over time, make you accept less and less and less. They will live off you financially. They will disrespect you sexually. They will lie, cheat, steal. They'll smash up property. They'll break the law, and you don't want to be in any way connected to someone who is continually breaking laws, because you could be pulled into, you know, a crime. They're often 60% of people who are in jail are narcissists, right? They're people who are psychopaths, sociopaths, or have both of those tendencies. They don't really, in psychology, they don't separate the two things anymore. They used to say psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. You know, psychopaths are people who have a brain shape when they're born, if they live in a nurturing environment and they have healthy mum-dad relationships, you know, parent relationships, child relationships, that they have the potential to become a psychopath, but they don't, because they've experienced warm, nurturing parent attachment from young. Okay. Sociopaths are born with normal brain shape, but they experience extreme trauma. They don't have normal child-parent attachment, and so they are made, okay, through their life experiences as a child. Now they know that people can be both, right? They can, because there's like a list of things, like behaviours that person will do for each of those things, but people can check boxes on both sides. So that's why they had to kind of redefine it and say narcissist. But the person is not who they say they are. They are disrespectful. They will be a parasite in your life, and they will never give up trying to reach out to you, so you need to cut off everyone they're associated with and get physical distance from them. They will break any and all laws as well, like things that you would like rule out. They're probably doing it or done it or gonna do it, so keep well away, you know, create that distance. Don't be lured by the siren song. They're often very good looking people. People who are animal lovers, people who are great with kids. They may make themselves look older and weaker by about 20 years than what they actually are. I have experience with narcissists, but I've also, from that experience, I've also kind of like watched, you know, psychologists talk about them, and people who have commented that have experienced narcissistic abuse. I've watched documentaries. I just found it interesting. I wanted to understand, as part of my healing process, I wanted to understand what one is, and, you know, why me, but it's, to be honest, a narcissist is a dysfunctional person that recognises a functional person. So you go to work every day, you have healthy parent-child attachments, you have healthy sibling attachments, you know what a healthy loving relationship is, you are kind, you are happy, you are nurturing, you have money, why wouldn't they want to be around you? Like, it's a damaged person reaching for a not damaged person, but they will behave parasitically with you. It's not like you're the happily ever after. That's what they present to you. They might even tell you that they've had trauma, but it's they will bring you drama like you would not believe. So yeah, that normally starts to appear after about 3 months. 3 to 6 months you'll start getting the drama, and it'll be non-stop, and it'll be big drama, so get away from that. Right, Leo, even if, you're not dealing with a narcissist directly, it's nice to reach out to people, it's nice to be nice, but only get involved as much as what you need to. Okay. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.